Welcome to the Almost Perfect Cast. I am Word.
I'm Zephyr.
I'm Eesa.
Welcome back to Deja Vu. Our topic today, we're doing it again, bar and NoBar, because, well, gosh, that last episode was 2 years ago now, and some things have changed, and we have a completely different format. That's the biggest thing that's changed, and we could do stuff like we have visuals. One of the reasons we moved into the visual format as a podcast was so we could up our production value while lessening our effort. And this is one of our first things we're going to do to actually say, like, here's our visuals. We've got some more topics in the future that are going to be this way. We're going to revisit streaming sometime in the near future, and oh gosh, what else? I guess we haven't done troubleshooting, but that's coming down the line soon, and like just some stuff that have always required really a visual. It's finally coming. So yeah, this easy one. We've got some busy lives. I know you two have not been playing a whole bunch of SMX. I've been playing a lot of SMX, but my life has just been nuts. I've been unemployed, but I've also got a bathroom I'm remodeling. That's why there's no song drop this month, because I haven't been able to shower. But we got one last month, so we'll still have that segment. And yeah, things are very different around here. So let's have some consistency and just talk about some old topics. Gosh, what's going on with you guys before we actually even launch into our housekeeping topics?
I've been playing a lot of Rhythm Horizon lately. Uh, Basically, I got the 9-panel kits for my new stages after like 2.5 years of not having them. So I've been playing Rhythm Horizon a lot the last couple of weeks. Haven't really played much StepManiaX. That's about it.
Eesa, you went to a tournament, right?
Yeah, I went to the ITG tournament at Red Note, Winter Groove, and I did bad because I don't play much ITG, but I'm trying to work on my ITG timing more, and plus I just play the game to have fun, and there's a lot of fun ITG charts. And the new 9 guys 1 pack came out. It's got 100 songs in it, and it's all really good. So if you
Wow.
guys do want to play any ITG, definitely download the new 9 guys pack. But plus ITL will probably start in a few months, so getting back into the ITG groove for that. But I finally played some SMX again today in preparation for this.
Yeah, because we had to remember what last month's charts were, didn't we?
Yes.
I was running late just because I was scrubbing through VODs. I couldn't even find some of the ones I was looking for. So, yeah. Hey, great segue. You're riding around there, Dean Kamen. Yeah, tournaments. We've had some in the last 2 months, and there's some more coming up. The most notable one that's happened was Love Arcade in StepManiaX land, anyway. Yeah, Winter Groove was an ITG tournament. It just played on these stages like a lot of tournaments these days do. In fact, I have the winners list. It was the top 4 for their uppers division was Paranoia Boy, Hints, Skeeter, and Alessandro TV. And their lower top 4 are Malkiar King, Kevy, RC1, and Dirksen 2LA. And I don't know those lowers, so I'm guessing that it worked out pretty well as a regional, small. Given the amount that I saw it promoted, it looked like it was more of a regional and less of a local, especially because we saw some big names. I mean, I see 4 big names in the top 4 there, so obviously it attracted some top players. I know MCAT ran it, so there's another one. And then, Word, do you want to say the next one's coming up, or I got him here if you don't want it.
I'm not sure what they are.
Okay, on the 23rd through 25th, there's the Winter Ball in Atlantic City. That's a big one. That's definitely gonna we'll call that a big old one. Maestro G is running that one. It's one I would be going to if I had the time and money, for sure. Because it's right there in Atlantic City in New Jersey. You should totally go if you can. And then the first European tournament in a while got announced. That's going to be Step Galaxy, and that is in, I think it's the Netherlands. Where did they say it is? It's in no, Italy. What city? I'm looking it up. It's on here somewhere. Bergamo. I probably butchered that.
I didn't
Did
see
I say
anything about
Germany?
that one.
Bergamo, Italy. I know geography. I'm an American. I've had our education system imposed upon me. And that's going to be on the last weekend of February into the first weekend of March. Or is that a one day? Oh, sorry. It is on the 28th, so just one day. That's right. The tournament organizer was talking in SMX General about it about a week ago. So, yeah, that's tournaments. I don't think there are any other tournaments. Oh, right, Red October. That's happening in October, but we don't have dates yet. We just know we're doing it in October. And oh boy, I have some things I would love to share. A word you've been seeing that volunteer channel. If you want to volunteer for a big giant standalone StepManiaX tournament, my DMs are open, Zephyr Glaze. And yeah, we'll be in touch. What else do we got for housekeeping?
Not much. We're not affiliated with StepManiaX or Step Revolution. We just fans.
We don't do that part anymore. People have figured us out.
I think that's it.
Okay. So hey, yeah, song drop. We had one in January. We haven't had one in February yet. Once again, we're waiting on that remodel I've got going on upstairs. Gosh, anyone want to nominate some charts? I know I've got a few. I've got a couple favorites.
Let me see if I can remember.
Yeah, the best chart was Kibo team mode.
Yes, I totally agree. That's on my list too. Why was it the best, Eesa? Do we agree?
It's been a long time since I played it.
I looked back at the VOD.
Different stuff for sure. I mean, I remember having fun, and we played it several times.
I remember a lot of struggles scrambling past each other, doing the swaps. That was really
me
fun.
and Bobby were totally good at it.
Yeah, you had practice. I remember like the turns were really satisfying, and it really made you like turn in quick succession with the swaps, and it really rewarded you for doing the turns. If you tried to double step it, it was very punishing. That was very nice. I just the way it makes you control momentum, very very nice chart. What else you got?
I mean, the charts were like okay. They didn't have like too much like super memorable stuff. I would say my favorite one was Remember Full, or Let's Remember, whatever it's called. I don't know. But the full chart, it's basically like the wild chart, except it's more fun because you're streaming across the pads instead of just in place on the little streaming sections.
I'm gonna agree. Like full in general, I heard that a lot when the drop came, and I do think all the full charts were really good, all the way down to full minus and full plus. Special shout outs from me to Never Let You Down, full 17. Should we name the songs? Yeah, they were Never Let You Down, Let's Remember, Kibo, and Definition of a Bad Boy. Probably should have said that at the top. Yeah, I really liked Never Let You Down full 17. I played it so many times that I think I got flags on it a few times, never quite got the APC. But it was just so gratifying and simple. It's one of those, yes, full can be very fun down to a very low difficulty, down to 15s or 16s. And that's one of them. It just has a lot of good momentum. It's one of those like give you love, but a little smoother kind of deals.
I found some of my song notes in the Discord. I didn't have any too much specific, but I did when I played the wild charts, I felt like most of the new wild charts, it almost felt like there's a new chart contributor that's like contributing to the charts. Just like I felt like the center panel and the overall flow of a lot of the wild charts felt pretty fresh. And then there was one specific one, but I'm looking for that, so I'll let you know if I find it.
I got one more to nominate too, and that is what's its name? I'm blanking. There's a cat screaming in the background. Um. Oh, I couldn't find it. I just said hyper hard 19 because we had another set of fill in
right.
what do we call those again? The refresh charts. And I was scrambling, searching for them, but hard plus is my favorite difficulties. I'm sure I loved it, and I'll go back and play it again. Couldn't find it, but just the fact that we're getting these 18s and 19s is really nice for me because those are some of my favorite charts. Yeah, there we go. I'll give that one. And did you find it, Word?
Yeah, it's let's remember the wild chart. I said that it felt like an Adri or Adri, I don't know how to say his name. Felt like an edit chart that he would have made. Just a lot of center panel, tons of center panel, and really, really good flow with that. And similar with Kibo also on the wild chart. Just a lot more center panel and just really good flow, I thought.
And it could be there's not a new contributor, but they're taking, they're learning what people like from edits possibly. But yeah, simplest explanation is there's a new contributor helping with the charts.
Yeah, it just felt like the charts are a little more fresh than they have been, a little more different.
So edits, Eesa, you got me onto some edits when you were here in town, didn't you? We found the chart artists we like.
When I was playing today, I just like played the songs real fast, and I played some more edits. Even more new edits have come out. There was like a new Bobby or WDRM edit for Kibo doubles or full, whichever. So I had to play that today, and I did really like it. It had a lot of interesting stuff in it. It was an extremely stretchy crossovers chart. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, I kind of did okay on that part, but then there was still one part that was really confusing for me, and I did not do it right. But then there's like this really cool, like on one side and on the other with like crossovers and with brackets, like crossover runs, but with brackets in there too that you do.
Nice.
Kind of like anchor. The anchor ends up having some brackets on it while you're crossing over to all the things. And then like the end part was also really cool. There were these side switches. So Bobby threw everything in this. Kibo, yeah, rated a 23. Play it, guys. It was pretty cool. It's hard.
Classic Bobby, just making edits that are too hard. Just a 23. Does 23 fit though? It seems like it should be hard.
Yeah, I think 23 is fair for it. And then some other guy that I really like, he's been making a lot of edit charts, Oliver Human. On the app, it's OLV Human. But he has so many that are so fun. And this is like, you better learn how to do runs SMX with the center panel and like moving those hips both ways, getting the center panel runs in. One of my favorites
foot switches.
Yeah, and foot switches too. He's got a good amount of tech, but one of my favorites was his Supernova 23 wilds. But yeah, I just love all the center panel runs. They're so fun. But almost all of his charts are really fun. And yeah, I made Zephyr play a bunch of them with me. And
Oliver showed up on stream to talk to us about him.
Yeah, he showed up today. No, he showed up today too while I was playing the edits and playing his edit. So that's cool.
That's just inviting a song drop. That's what happened last time with us.
The other really cool edit that I think everyone who plays full should try this. It's AED, his edit to Ignition Starts. It's a 23 full. Super fun. It's going to take so much energy. It's just foot switches, foot switches, foot switches. I mean, maybe you could do it as crossovers instead, I guess. But I'm foot switching it. And then there's these crazy parts where it's like middle jump, left, right on one side. Like straight from the jump to left, right on a side, and then the other way. And then there's these other parts where it's like jumping in the middle and then doing like the side and up, side and up. It's just, I mean, I guess maybe you should do it as crossovers, but that's not going to happen. It's still
I
fun if you
remember when
just.
he was writing that, he was like, he is just going crazy with all those patterns.
But yeah, play the AED ignition starts. Anyone who plays full, you got to try it.
All
I have
right.
one I played today. I don't know if I said it on the last episode or not, but it's by McCloudchick. It's a wild edit for Think Thousand Thoughts. It's like extremely ITL styled. It has tons of brackets, tons of crazy rhythms. Like I think it goes up to 48ths in a couple spots and a couple 64ths and 32nds, 12ths, 24ths, and 16ths. Yeah, it's just got a whole bunch of crazy hard stuff, but it's really well written and really fun. Oh, and it has a down arrow foot switch that's like 5 arrows in a row, but they're 24ths. So yeah, it's insane. And I think there's one spot with like 2 or 3 foot switch on up or down that's like a 30-second burst. Yeah,
Yeah, it
hard.
looks like I have played
Hard.
it and I
It's
have put a
fun.
like on it, so I also recommend it.
That's it. That's all I got. I also played the C Wiggers edit that was his original full chart for what was it? Sorry, I forgot the name. It was it's not on my list because it's unpublished. I need to tell him to publish
Oh,
it. It's blown my
okay.
mind, I think. The original full chart for it that got removed, he remade it as an edit.
Does it have the mid lifts, or
No,
that
because
can't be done, right?
those can't be done anymore, but the rest of the chart's the same.
Okay.
And that one's just like a 16, but it's really basic, but it has like spins and weird movement because that's the kind of thing that he really kind of specializes in making. Just
Oh yeah,
weird
that one
movement.
made you do like really weird, like big giant like pivots, didn't it?
Yeah, and there's like 3 spins in a row that make you go across both stages as you're doing the spins.
Right.
Yeah. So
But
it's
it
mostly
is a
quarter
16
notes,
because you
but
can.
it's like a 16, yeah.
Yeah, you can double step it, no problem. But
Yeah, if you double step, it's like an 11.
Right. Okay, so hey, we've been here before. Welcome to Deja Vu. All over again. Bars. Bars are bad, right? Like we all played DDR back in the day, back in the early 2000s. Do you remember? This is bad. You walk into the arcade and someone's doing this, and you're like, "Boo! What are you doing? Boo! Go away! Get out of here with that bar! Why don't you in the bar get a room?" Um,
I
at
never
least
had that
when.
experience. I was
Uh,
like 1 year too late.
okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
got
I
into this
never had
game.
that experience in the Pacific Northwest. That was the way the good players played.
So when I got into the game in 2002, that was definitely the local vibe here in Vegas. It changed within a year or two. Like probably a year later, it was about a 50-50 war. And by 2004, 2005, you were kind of a dinosaur if you play like I do, no bar. Or like Word does sometimes, no bar. And like Eesa does when we play team, because you can't be on the bar very much during team play. But yeah, this main topic, it's about the difference between bar and no bar, how it's kind of fun, why people do it, what it's like, that sort of thing. And like maybe how to play on the bar and play on not the bar, because that's a very different experience. So gosh, let's just recycle everything. I've got our notes from the last time we did this.
Cool. Let's
Uh,
do it.
Yeah. So yeah, in some parts of the world, playing on the bar was considered very, very gauche, very uncool. That has very much changed over the last 20 years. There's really no stigma. Most players play on the bar, and if you don't, you're kind of weird. Um, you're kind of seen as artificially limiting yourself, either because you just enjoy that mode more, or because you have some specific pride to it. In my case, it's more fun, and I suspect I burn more calories doing it, but mostly it's more fun for me. And every time I try to play bar, it's just very unsatisfying, and I do way worse. And I know there's a huge learning curve to it for me. But who knows? Maybe after this will convince me to play a little bar, and maybe I'll get over that hump. Who knows?
Yeah, once you get to where you need to start like consistently passing 25s and 26s.
Yeah, I don't know. There's that kid. There's the NoBar player who just passed a 26.
Yeah, but they're also like 60 pounds.
Right.
Not moving as much, weight around.
So there you go. That's a thing that happens on the bar. If you're a taller person, you can put a little bit of your weight on through some of those faster runs, right? You can. I don't know, like this. I think I'm holding a little bit of my weight up. I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody who actually plays bar should probably be on their stage right now, but that's so far away from you, Word. We should have. Poor prep.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, right here.
Yeah. All right. Tell me if I'm doing it right. Is this right?
I mean, so most of the time we recommend for singles mode to turn your palms forwards, facing forwards. So you're kind of holding the corner of the bar.
Okay.
That's just going to be a little bit easier on your wrist. Yeah, it's a little easier on your wrist and then also like your shoulders, especially if you're not super mobile.
Yeah. Well, I should try this sometime. This seems way easier.
So yeah, how you're holding it, that's kind of the most recommended way for singles to hold the bar.
And then it arrests your motion a lot. That's something that I always see people, like, especially on full, when you play the other way, people do all sorts of different stuff with full, right? They put it to different lengths, and it depends on your body.
For full mode, I turn my hand so my palm's facing backwards. So flip your hand around. No, flip them 180. Like that.
Like that?
Yep.
Wow, that seems. Oh, and you bring them in closer.
Because what that does,
the same way.
What that does, it's different for taller people like me. But when you're holding it with your palms forward, it kind of restricts how your body can move into where your elbow is, because your elbow is not really as mobile.
Right.
But when you flip to have your palms facing backwards, your elbows kind of go out away from your body, and it just makes your body able to like fit in there a lot easier. I actually put a whole video on my YouTube channel about exactly that.
Okay. This is already something I didn't know. This is already tech that I never understood, because we didn't have that visual. We didn't have that reinforcement last time.
It's like, see how you're holding it and your elbow's basically pointing backwards. So when you move your body over, your elbow goes out of your way naturally.
Yeah,
now turn your hands the other way. Flip your hands back around the other way. Now, as you move to the side,
it's very restrictive, even with the wider.
Harder. Yeah, you have to hold it wider, or you have to really purposely move your elbow out of the way.
Now, if you're really tall like me and you, this doesn't seem so bad, but it's not as good because you can't turn as fast. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're cooking with gas here.
It's induction now.
People like to put things on these bars, right? This bar feels kind of slippery, doesn't it?
Definitely.
If I'm trying to fling myself back and forth for say Classical Madness or something, Classical Madness full, and I gotta go back and forth like crazy. What do I want on these bad boys? Do I throw a towel on there? What do you guys use?
No, I generally don't like to have anything on the bar. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm tiny and my hands are tiny. I want to just grip the bar and death grip it. Occasionally, if I get really sweaty, I'll put a towel down, but single layer only. Still, but I just prefer nothing always. Just nothing feels the best to me.
Yeah, I don't like having just a towel on there because it makes it super slippery unless you're death gripping it.
Yeah, it's only once the towel gets super sweaty like me, then it can go on there.
So that's
Yeah,
a strategy. You can actually like wet down the towel slightly. But a lot of people, including me, we have underneath the towel, you can see there's like an anti-slip mat. It's kind of like the things you would put like on your cupboard, like underneath the dishes or underneath like an area rug or something. It's like kind of rubbery, and then you put the towel on top of it, and then it's just like stuck in place. It doesn't move at all. A lot of people use something like that.
And plus, when you use the bar, you get all these super awesome calluses on your hand and your thumbs.
and it's an upper body workout too.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, my
definitely
arms have been sore lately. I guess I've been playing
triceps.
ITG real hard.
Triceps and shoulders is where you get the most workout.
all right,
But yeah, some
so
people use gloves as well, but I'm not really a big fan of gloves because they get super sweaty and stinky. But
all right,
otherwise, they're good. They work well.
so when I'm leaning like this, what am I thinking? Because the thing I notice when I play is my feet are just always in the way when I try the bar. Um, what is the difference? Is that because I'm leaning back versus when I play bar, I'm much more forward like this? Or no, sorry, versus no bar.
A little bit. It's just a
Like,
lot. You have to practice. It's just a completely different way of thinking about your feet, like getting them out of the way. You'll be stepping differently. You won't be stepping as wide, so you'll have to kind of consider the patterns. Kind of like with no bar, you have to consider the patterns on which way your body's going to be turning, so you're not like stepping on your own feet. It's similar to that, but it's just kind of a different way of approaching it.
right, because when I play no bar, one thing I notice is like I have way more exaggerated movements than most players. When I do a crossover, I'm like really on that crossover. I am like really committing my whole body to it. Um, Whereas a no bar, or sorry, as a bar player, it's probably just like a much more subtle,
Yeah,
just barely
you're
hitting the corner sensors.
you're pivoting mostly from your waist down instead of no bar. You're just turning your entire body together. So you get used to this, like keeping the top half of your body, your upper body facing forward pretty much the whole time. And mostly you're twisting and pivoting with your lower body. I think that's the
Okay,
biggest
yeah, and that
difference.
I've seen some player, and obviously this is StepManiaX where there's the highest variety of the way people move their bodies and play this game, compared to just about any other dance game. A Paranoia Boy looks different when he plays versus Chesmix versus Wordwordus versus an Eesa because we all have different bodies and we've learned to adapt to them differently. Um, like Eesa, let's talk about you. When you play, it does not look like you're holding yourself up by the bars like most people do. It looks like you're holding yourself down so you can move faster. It's like you're letting you got to increase that gravitational constant just so you can slam your feet down faster.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely don't think I put any weight on the bar. Maybe just like a little bit. I mean, my arms and shoulders and stuff do get sore sometimes, rarely. Usually I don't feel sore in my arms at all.
Word. What about you? Do you feel yourself putting weight on the bar?
Yes. It's to my detriment sometimes. I definitely, it's something I have to think about when I'm playing much harder stuff, is to focus on leaning back on the bar less and just using it to keep my body centered. That's definitely another recommendation for people that are going from no bar to bar, that you don't want to lean on the bar. You just want to use the bar as like a balance mostly, to keep your like body sideways motion and front to back motion mostly constant and just centered. So
Yeah,
that's
just use it
definitely
as
something to,
balance or like making sure you're in place and you don't
yeah.
have to worry about that. And then you just move your feet as fast as you can.
SMX and F1 more closely related sports than you would expect. Yes, Catherine. We do like to use this is our spoiler. It's the big fin on the back of our stage. It doesn't just look cool. It has a function. Uh all right. So, gosh, let me bring up some of the advantages of bar that I love. It's mostly a pleasure thing, right? It's a you feel free, you feel open. It's uh it's a desired, it's more of it's definitely a preference, right? I'm holding myself back in most ways. Um there are very few ways that you perform better playing this game. Probably some of the, you might get better precision. I don't know if it's easier for you guys to play flat-footed, but it's really easy for me to play extremely flat-footed all the time. So I don't know. What do you, what's your
Um,
opinion? Word, you are the person who does both here, so I kind of want to get your opinion a lot.
so as far as like playing flat-footed, you mean?
Yeah, is it easier
Sorry,
to
I was
play flat-footed in
distracted.
one way or the other? Like that's one thing I notice when I'm really honing in on timing. It is just super easy for me to get my feet is just, just bring my center of gravity way down, which helps my timing a lot. And to yeah, really keep my feet as flat as possible when I'm going for those APCs or, single digit perfect counts.
Well, I will say not necessarily playing flat-footed, but holding the bar makes me more able to step with my feet however I need to get the APC or to get whatever I'm focusing on. Whereas with when I'm playing no bar, I'm more focused on just keeping my balance and my body facing the correct way, whichever way I'm supposed to be facing. But I think more so or less so like playing a specific way, like stepping flat footed or whatever. I think more so it's just you're able to change it up in the middle of the song at any point that you need to get the specific movement that you need.
Would you say
Specific.
like if you could suddenly just shift a little weight on the shoulder, it's really easy to just like throw a bracket down here and not worry about how that's going to affect your balance going forward because you can always
Yeah,
catch
for
yourself with
sure.
your arms,
For sure. And then
and make those
when
micro adjustments with your muscles.
yeah, like the little micro adjustments. Another thing that bar play helps a lot with is like if you're reading really fast, then you're able to react more suddenly because you're not having to consider your body's momentum as much and not having to move your body to where it needs to be. You can kind of just hold your body with your arms steady and then reach out with your foot real quick if something comes up that you weren't expecting. There's definitely an advantage there, I think.
All right. It sounds like I got to give this another try. Maybe that's my next personal challenge besides chasing scores is to learn to bar, learn to love the bar. It's been here with me all along since my first days of playing. Maybe I should give it another shot. Um, some things that I really, I guess I need to impart some. Here's how you play no bar as a person who might have learned this game as a bar player. That I think that's most people who play in an arcade setting. If you learned there and you saw everyone else, you started doing this really early on. If you're a StepManiaX player, um, there's a good chance that by the time you're into hard plus, you're back here. So, gosh, some things you're gonna notice that your feet are you're leaned forward almost like your center of mass tilts a little forward um from a straight up and down line, and your shins are going to be really worn out because of it. The more you can learn to play with your feet flat early on, the less you're going to deal with that. But you'll find that like toes are a very convenient place to be. You're watching your momentum a lot. You're planning your momentum a lot. A lot of it is just do it. Like it's I think it's easier for me to say, as a no bar player, just get out there and do it. And here are some things to look out for. When you turn, you've gotta pick those feet up more because you don't have that can lift it up a tiny bit to pick it up. You're doing a front panel and you gotta hit a center panel behind it, you know. If you're playing bar, you can hit that and then pick it up as you go. If you're playing no bar, you've gotta really change the way you're moving. Yeah,
Cathetin.
NoBar puts your face closer to the screen. That's very true, Cathetin.
Yeah, on our AIOs. Well, mine's separated like about not quite a foot, but like, yeah, definitely it depends kind of more also on the kind of cabinet you're playing on. Like with the AIO here, once you play no bar, your face is like a foot closer than if it was no bar because you're having to keep your center of balance on over the middle of the pad instead of most of the time with you're holding the bar, it's slightly in between kind of the middle and the down arrow, so you're definitely so much closer to the screen with your face.
I kind of want to show a side-by-side shot of me playing me here next to Eesa here, and just to show how stark a contrast it is, because I'm up here. You can see how close my face is to the screens of my camera here, and then the other person is like all the way back here, saying hi to the bumblebee.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be that far back, but it's definitely noticeable and something to keep in mind depending on your play environment.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like you said about like whenever I play no bar, my shins definitely start to burn after about 2 songs. So I can't play it. I can't play it like for very long usually, or else I just my shins get worn out too much. But that's something definitely that you can work with, like you were saying, play less on your toes and more just kind of even, flat. But it's something that you kind of have to work into.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there's one thing we haven't talked about. Charts get written differently based off of expectations of what they want you to be able to do. Um, a great example would be a chart like "Give You Love" full 17. Um, that would not be rated a 17 by a no bar player ever. Any day of the week, they would play that once and say those like really fast back and forths. No way. But like as a bar player, that's a much more easy ask to put on the player. Where it's something that's much more turny, like what's a recent chart that's been really, really, or one I've been playing a lot recently. Uh, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of one of them. I mean, Kibo Team, but that requires you to play no bar anyway. But yeah, that's designed with the fact that you're not going to be on the bar in mind. It makes you sway back and forth a lot in a way that would be very uncomfortable on the bar.
Oh, I just played. Is it Everybody to the Sun full, where it's like has you anchored on the down arrow and then you're like turning and reaching across, and then is that it? Is that the one? I think that's the one.
No Bar to the Sun. That has it's like,
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that one's a lot different.
Like
a lot different with the bar because you're definitely just twisting your lower body instead of turning your body.
Yeah, anything with a spin that's hard to avoid. Anything with a Scooby. Like imagine, I was just playing Look Into My Eyes Full. Look Into My Eyes Full 18. Now that should probably be a 19 anyway, but you know, for a bar player that would be a 20 unless you just count double stepping. I don't know. Is that easy to double step on the bar? It's not easy to double step no bar.
I think double stepping with the bar is a little bit easier. Because in between steps, you're not having to worry as much about keeping your balance.
Hey, there's some talk in the comments there. Hey, we should cover that in a second. Hey, gosh, I think we covered it all. I think we were more efficient this time around, and we don't have to edit after this. I'm not announcing a no-bar tournament at the end of this because I'm not going through the effort of that. If someone else ran an event like that, I would be extremely happy, and that's the only reason it's not happening is because I can't do it this year or this spring. But I definitely have the time to say, hey, Cathetin, I know you play no-bar sometime. Why don't we, hey, Word, you play no bar sometime. Wanna maybe play a match sometime? Maybe we draw a hand. We can make it like the 30-minute endurance challenge last year, or we can do something completely different. I
Maybe.
already challenged up-and-comer Static Fish, who's a NoBar player, all the way from the UK. We're going to do a NoBar match sometime soon. Who wants to get competitive with this stupid wonky mode with me?
Yeah, I think so. The format we did was we played basically as many as you could do in 30 minutes. You could rest as much as you want or not. It was like do as much as you can, and whoever got what was it? I don't remember exactly how we scored it.
It was It was however many you could start in the 30 by the end of the 30-minute mark, and it was the third. You were going for I think
You
it was
just add
13
all the
songs in the
scores
hand.
together, right?
Yeah, I think it was 13, and it was you just picked your highest scores. And the point of that was to peg your endurance because that's something that people do no bar intentionally for is hitting their cardiovascular system as hard as possible. So I wanted to incorporate that. Now, when I play with Static Fish, he plays in an arcade where he's not going to be able to do that, and it's going to be hard just to record his VOD. So we're probably just going to do a best of 7, and we're just going to play all 7 songs just in case they have to tie break, and we'll just play them in order as if we were playing them real time. We'll play them asynchronously because he can't play at the same time that I can play. And I'm kind of happy with that because it shows that you can do something like this at any level. He can take a phone to the arcade and film his gameplay, and we can still have a friendly competitive match. It's not just streamers like us who have home setups that can do it. We've got 3 streamers here. Anyone can do it. Hey, Eesa, how about a no bar match?
I don't know. I didn't compete last year.
I was just expecting a flat no from you.
NoBar is just scary. I don't want to ever sprain an ankle again or something.
Yeah, since we don't practice it that much, it's like if we play in a competitive setting, it's like, are we really putting our best self? It's like something we don't practice very much, so we're not really
Right.
comfortable
Well,
with.
not just that, but I do think no bar is probably more injury prone, at least below the hips. Maybe bar is a little more twisty, injury prone here and up, especially on your shoulders.
Definitely
But
shoulders.
yeah, your ankles and knees. I can't imagine you're putting less strain no bar than you are bar. It's got to be more no bar, and I mean that's why I wear these, right? Like I'm in my late 30s and I'm wearing these like I'm in my early 50s, so I don't tear a meniscus again. I put these on every session. In fact, I will before my session
Yeah.
tonight.
We didn't really talk about it too much, but playing with no bar, you definitely are spending more energy. We kind of talked about it on how it can help you to hold the bar for the higher level difficulties because you can conserve more energy. But a lot of people that play no bar, well, some people at least, they do it because it's a better workout because they don't have to play the really hard stuff to get the same sort of heart rate and calorie burn that you can go a couple difficulties lower with no bar and still get that same amount of workout.
I just enjoy playing the really hard stuff, so I want to play the bar and get more workout than a no bar player because it's all hard stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just play harder stuff.
When I'm playing, what do? I set up a heart rate monitor and I'm going based off of when my heart rate drops enough. Theoretically, I should have the same profile no matter whether I'm playing no bar or bar because I'm just waiting until my heart rate gets down to 130 to hit that start button again. So what does it matter if I'm playing a 22 or a 25 if it's the same difficulty output for me? And that's an extreme reasonableness. I mean, one thing I haven't brought up, but hey, I stand out more as a no bar player. There's only a handful of dedicated no bar players, and you stack us all up in a line, and I'm in the top 5. I switched to bar. There's no way I'm in top 5 on anything. So it is definitely something I like. Granted, we ran a no bar tournament last year, and it turns out that some people, as soon as they get some practice, they can still whoop me.
Yeah, was it
and
Jelly
some people,
Slosh and Ches Mix? They could just do no bar almost as good as bar, and
Yeah,
they don't even normally play
Wiz.
NoBar.
Wiz was what like
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Wiz
Chess Whiz.
yeah, Chess Wiz gets up there pretty close. No bar as he does bar. But yeah, Jelly Slash not just nearly as good, but I remember him just really rocketing up in skill because when we were doing the qualifiers for that, I remember thinking like, oh, I hope I get him. I can smoke him. And by the end of that tournament, I was like, it doesn't matter if we're in the same pool. He can demolish me now because he just needed 10 or 20 hours of practice and he had me. um I don't know, maybe if we did it again today I could he's been out of practice, I've been in practice. Over the last year I've gotten a lot stronger. I'm feeling a lot better about myself. Could maybe do it. Could maybe hang. I don't know, maybe somebody who's not me got, who's got a little more drive to run an online tournament. I can. Where's my Patsy? Who is my Patsy is what I'm asking. My tournament Patsy who can run this. So I can focus on Red October and a podcast.
Not me. Maybe
Yeah.
me. Probably not.
But you know what? It's very easy to say, hey, Word, how about we do a match sometime?
Yeah.
Hey, Thea, how about we do a match sometime? Easy peasy.
Senpai could start it, but then he'll never finish it.
That would be great. We should make it a league. I've been thinking about a league for a while. If we started a league, that would be since Senpai never finishes anything. Yeah. I mean, the answer is you make it you design a bot that does it, but then you have to, go to the effort of making the bot. You get the thing that matches people up, and then you can apply it to other things besides no bar challenges. Like, why can't oh gosh, not to be ageist, but why can't, Katia challenge Rice Steve to a match and totally smoke him? Um, you know, uh, plenty of little sub leagues we could have online. But we have fun. We make tournaments. We do them everywhere. I want to expand that fun of competing at an event to across the year a little bit more. And No Bar is one of the places I'm going to start doing that. So I'm just tapping people on the shoulder and say, hey, let's do it because I'm bored.
Yeah, we didn't mention at the beginning when we're talking about updates, but round ones are starting to get all of their StepManiaX delivered and installed. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot more just people joining the StepManiaX community that have never played before.
Yeah, Phoenix just got theirs. Eesa was telling us before the podcast. We keep seeing it in SMX General, and we're probably not seeing everyone that goes in. We're just seeing the ones that people who are already there are talking about. So, yeah, there's not one in my neighborhood yet. Hey, here's a great question. Love Arcade was on a DX cab. Who was there? I might message them and ask, how did that feel? How did it feel with the big giant blinking lights down the side? How did the bigger screen feel to compete on versus, a standard cabinet? What was the tournament in January or Eclipse? Yeah, at Eclipse they had a home setup. They had a home cab like I do. They were using water salads, and people were very happy with it. So turns out you don't just need a Dedicab to play on. You could do it on a DX or a compact or a home setup if it's good enough and it's in good shape. So maybe more of those. I certainly am not opposed to those DX cabs. My only concern is they are bright, aren't they?
Yeah, and those giant side strobes, they are
Yeah,
super flashy. And especially
that's
when
what
you're
I'm
playing
talking
edits.
about.
Like when I played the Gargoyle edit, that's just a solid 16th stream for the whole chart. Every single 16th note, those giant things are flashing on and off.
And I already want a light option for the cabinets to turn those
Yeah.
off during events because they're too flashy and they mess with cameras and they, like I just want the cab lights off on a Dedicab already. So I can't imagine. Like I'm like, no, I need less light pollution in this location I'm at for the next 8 hours as a person who's photosensitive and will eventually get a migraine unless I put on sunglasses inside an arcade at the tournament I'm running. But Yeah, it's not the worst game for that, right? Like DDR has literal spotlights shining directly into your eyes while you play.
Well, the DX cab, it does have those spotlights on the very top corners.
Are they that bright? Are they right in your eyes like the old those MR16 halogen lights that the
Well,
DDR cabs had?
they're a lot higher up, so they're not
Okay.
shining like eye level, but they're like still pointed down towards you. But yeah, it's not as bad.
See, the TO in me wants to just put different bulbs in those that are like a really good temperature and make those the front lighting for the competitors.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just built-in LEDs though.
Yeah. All right. We're kind of rambling here. Look, we discussed the topic. I think the answer is it's NoBar, guys. It's better. Come on, admit it. Just admit it. Eesa?
Never.
I don't know, man. I can time better on with the bar. Like I can focus more on timing. I can play longer, more stamina. I can play harder stuff. I can play faster stuff. I can go back and forth on full mode on the really fast whips better with the bar. I think play with the bar if you like it. That's about it.
Yeah. The answer is to try the other side a little bit and see if it's fun, because we're here to have fun. Maybe you're hiding from the fun and you just don't know it.
Yeah, I could
So
do
I think
Scoobies. You just gotta practice, just like any other thing. You can do
yeah, you can do a
Scoobies.
Scooby. Yeah, let's see, Joanna. Let's see. It's like
I mean,
um
you can always let go
oh
with one hand,
yeah, just
but
let go with one hand. Yeah, that is difficult. Never mind. I'm like, no, that's easy. And as soon as I go to do it, like, no, that's impossible.
yeah, it's the same as anything. You just have to practice how you want to play. Yeah, Scoobies, they're no problem.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna give a few Scoobies a try, and I'm gonna try to play bar since we don't have that song drop hasn't happened yet. I think it's coming any day now, but we'll see.
Yeah, the
Um,
last one was exactly a month ago.
yeah,
So,
we'll be back in 4 to 6 weeks. I'm not looking at the calendar right now, and we'll be talking about one of those topics, unless one of our special guests that we haven't told you about suddenly becomes ripe to bring onto the show. So, gosh, did I forget anything? Did should I not move out of the topic yet? Eesa,
I
final
don't know.
thoughts.
No, I think we're good. And yeah, I've been working on crossovers lately. Crossovers are fine with the bar. You just have to like train your body. You got to train those hips to move.
Be like our friend Ender, whose hips just like turn like this far casually and like this far casually, and you're like, "What are you doing, boy? He'll just like he'll do the Scoobies like no trouble," and you're like, "What? Are you made of rubber? What's going on?"
Yeah, I would say the crossover, it's harder to at the beginning, but once you like develop good form for it, I don't think it's a hindrance at all. I think it ends up being better because like we were saying, you can play harder stuff with the bar. Because you're not focusing as much of your brain power on your balance and everything and movement. Because the top half of your body kind of just stays, doesn't really move that much, doesn't really turn. So it's just like I said, you just have to practice how you want to play, and then you'll develop form for it.
All right. Well, I guess I got to go make a Zephyr Yes Bar SMX app account now, don't I? I go
Yeah.
find a
Oh yeah,
place for
that
it.
kind of reminds me. If anybody decides to create a strictly NoBar account just for fun, I have my NoBar account set to Nepal for my country because it's got the fun triangular shaped flag, and there's nobody else in that country, so we can have like all the like second account NoBar players competing in Nepal.
You guys are
You
all
know, I
from
moved my
Nepal.
account to Nepal, and it was just me and you. If
Yeah.
other people join you in Nepal, I'll go back to Nepal with my primary NoBar account. Because it is nice to look at, you know, like if we could get Senpai in Nepal, then we'll talk. Okay, how about that?
Yep.
Yeah,
For sure.
maybe Senpai McKeebler, you know, those guys I'm always competing with. All right. I think that was the almost perfect cast, guys. Easa's got a date. I've got a bathroom to remodel, and I might just play a NoBar session first. Word, you've got to get to bed at some point and go to work in the morning. Gosh, you can catch us all on our Twitch channels. Look, Word's got us all. Like, there's me, and like Easa's is down over there, and Words is way down over there. Like, you can find us streaming on Twitch at all those places. And you'll find us all in Las Vegas in October for Red October this year. Which, by the way, oh gosh, I could go on and on about the format. It's so fun. It's so fun. Okay. Catch us next month. Who wants to take us out? I've been talking all hour.
This has been the Almost Perfect Cast. Keep on stepping, maniacs. I forgot to set up the transition, so bye.
Bye.